We have got Whispers built in Destroy sets and absolutely butt-naked Arbiters. What is up, guys? This is Cobb. This is an account takeover video where we're going to be focusing exclusively on getting more powerful artifacts on your account and fixing the artifact situation on Mr. D's account. This is going to be the 4 steps to just getting godly gear on your account, man. Because at the end of the day, getting good champions is like a third of the battle. Another third of the battle is getting things like Great Hall nodes and other passive stat boosts across your account, which, well, I see that we level 10 HP is our first rank 10 node in the Great Hall on Mr. D's account. But the other third of where power comes from on your account is artifact quality. So let's talk about it, man. Before we do, if you're looking to create a new raid account, man, get that done right now by using the beginner promo link that is down below this gosh darn video at the top of the description box, man. Click on that link on laptop or PC and use that link to create your new raid account for all of the freebies that you see on screen right now, man. Double legendary start and 3 epic champions that will be delivered straight to your inbox as you level up that new account. And all you got to do is make sure that you create that account using the link down below this video at the top of the description box, man. Again, use that link on laptop or PC. Okay, man, let's rock and roll. Step number 1. Stop keeping garbage. This is mostly going to be a rapid fire tips section. Tip number 1 is that percentage based stats are always more powerful than flat stats on your account. They just scale better on level 60 champions, right? This means that your gloves and your chest pieces on your champion builds should basically always have a percentage based stat as their main stat. Now, there's some exceptions to this rule. If you've got a resistance or accuracy main stat chestplate, that can work in certain champion builds, but it's generally speaking a bit more niche. Usually it's going to be HP percent, defense percent, or attack percent, right? Gloves and chest are the only item types in the game, and boots as well, I suppose technically, that have a huge variation in what the main stat can be on these pieces. So be hunting down percentage main stats on these if you can. Tip 2 is that boots are the only item type in all of Raid Shadow Legends that can roll speed as the main stat, and generally speaking, speed is the best stat in the game, and so try and have speed as the main stat on basically all of your boots, on all of your champions as a beginner player. There are some exceptions again to this rule where you can maybe run like some attack percentage boots or even HP percentage boots on certain champion types that don't need to be as fast, but generally speaking, you're looking to hit like 160, 170 speed as a minimum on even some of your slowest champions on your account, like your big bulky damage dealers and stuff like that. And so even on your damage dealers, 9 times out of 10, it's still the correct choice to just run speed as the main stat, and so be on the lookout for that on your boots. Next up, tip number 3 is going to be that stats are just more important than sets. Is it tip number 3? I don't even know, man. I might have missed one there. Well, which is something that I like that Mr. D has done here on this account. We've got a random Daze chestplate here. Why? It's got defense percent as the main stat and a double speed roll as the substat. That's bloody good. That's great, right? I love that we've equipped this. We've done a similar thing here on the Alice the Wanderer as well, where you can see we just got like a random savage weapon equipped because the substat rolls are great. Some crit rate, crit damage, attack percent, speed. It's basically everything that you're looking for on an Alice, and we haven't gone crazy with the Savage set. Savage is a great set. Ignore all kinds of enemy defense on a 4-piece is very, very nice, but what you don't want to be doing is taking Savage gear and thinking, oh man, I've heard that Savage set is good. I'm going to go ahead and slam 4 pieces on my nukas and it's going to be great. But then you're rolling like, I don't know, like a random defense percent chestplate on an Alice who doesn't really want that, and then you've got like some helmet hit that's rolled into a bit of accuracy, but it's got no crit rate or crit damage, and so it's not that good either. And you're kind of shoehorning a build onto a champion because you're prioritizing sets too much. That's just a really, really bad place to be in. Your builds are going to suffer as a result. In the early game of Raid, just the stats on gear pieces are much, much more important than trying to just get a set on a champion, right? Sets become more important as your artifact collection expands and as you actually get good pieces for that set. Next tip is going to be to simply collect gear pieces for each set that actually make sense for that set, right? So for example, Savage gives you some ignore defense, right? If you get 4 pieces of Savage equipped, very, very good for your nukas and damage dealers. What stats do nukas and damage dealers need? Well, it usually isn't like resistance and HP and stuff like that, you know. Generally speaking, it's not. Most of your nukas are going to be looking for things like, well, what the Alice has got on her weapon right here, right? Crit rate. Most nukas and big damage dealers inside of Raid are going to want 100% crit rate or as close to as possible. Then a whole bunch of crit damage, and then whatever their primary stat is, right? You get some defense-based nukas that would look for defense percent. Alice likes attack percent. Speed is basically always good, but you're looking for nuka-style stats on your Savage gear, right? With speed, it becomes even more obvious, right? If you're going to put speed set on somebody, you probably want them to be quick. you know, that's not a leap. And so basically any piece of speed gear on your account, any piece of speed gear on your account that doesn't roll into speed as a substat, for example, this helm right here, gone. It's useless, right? It's basically worthless. You need to have speed substat rolls on your speed gear. Now, again, if you're in like the first 3 weeks of your account or something, and you just need any gear with good stats on it, you could, for example, take this speed weapon right here and double roll it into a crit rate roll, you know, if you get lucky with your rolls, and you could hypothetically keep this weapon to use on a nuker for a while, because again, in the super early game, stats are more important than sets, but over the long term, even just over the medium term on your account, you're looking for stats that match and just suit the set that you are collecting those artifacts for. And you notice already, by the way, with even just the rules that we've covered so far, right, with percentage stats being so important and speed boots being so important for most champions, and matching your stats to your sets, you're already selling about 90% or more of artifacts that you find inside of Raid Shadow Legends, right? You're going to be very, very discerning with what you're keeping. When it comes to accessories on your account, generally speaking, when it comes to your 9-piece set accessories, right? So if you scroll on down your accessories a little bit, you're going to find your chronophage accessories, for example, and if you click on the little eye button right here on the side of the artifact, you can see chronophage is part of a 9-piece accessory, just a 9-piece artifact set. Same thing with pinpoint gear as well, right? 9-piece set. Same thing with feral, although, okay, yeah, we do actually have a feral ring just sitting here as well. These accessories are gold dust, okay? Keep them all, is my advice if you're a beginner player. Never be selling your 9-piece accessories like this, right? Accessories that belong to a 9-piece set. Why? Because generally speaking, if you can equip a champion in even decent gear from a 9-piece set, and you can get all 9 pieces equipped, so you activate the 9-piece set bonus, which for feral is allies deal 5% more damage per each debuff placed by the wearer of this feral set. That's nuts, and it doesn't even matter that much if the accessories are bad, right, for the feral set. The 9-piece bonus is just that bloody good that you want to just keep all of these pieces. They're hard to get. Accessories, unlike artifacts, you need to collect, you're collecting them all for each faction separately. So you can end up in a place where, I don't know, you might have like a half dozen feral accessories for Shadowkin, for example, which we don't on this account, but you might find that for certain factions on the account, you don't have any feral accessories at all, and so they can be very, very hard to come by, very, very difficult to collect. They are always, always worth keeping to a point. And a quick final couple of tips regarding banners, because this is so important for setting up your builds as well. When it comes to banners, generally speaking, any accuracy banners that provide speed as a substat are absolute gold dust on your account, right? Why? 90% of support champions inside of Raid require accuracy to land their debuffs against enemies. And on most of these champions, because they're support type champions, because they're debuffers and stuff like that, they need speed as well. Speed is generally speaking good. Like speed and accuracy are going to be their 2 most important stats when building out your support type champions. And so to get both stats on an accuracy banner is absolutely succulent, and be very, very careful with what you do with your accuracy and speed substat banners. Even bad ones, even like 5-star, you know, blue accuracy speed banners are generally speaking going to be very, very good for you in the long run. And finally, same thing but with resistance banners. I'd make sure you've got at least one decent resistance banner with speed substat rolls on your account per faction. Any more than like 2 or 3, you're probably going a bit overboard. You don't need that many, but make sure that you have enough that you can build a couple of resistance build champions on your account per faction. Believe me, you'll thank me later by the time you hit mid-game, because all of a sudden resistance will actually become a useful stat, whereas in the super early game, it's a little bit worthless. So with all of the tips that we just covered, the first thing that we can do on this account, by the way, is get rid of a bunch of crappy gear that just doesn't make any sense, right? I'm going to go into boots, chest, and gloves, okay? Because these are the 3 artifact types that have variable main stats. Again, like shield, head, and weapon always have defense, HP, and attack as the main stats on these, whereas gloves, chest, and boots, they can be very, very variable, and in fact, they can even roll into the worst stat types, which are flat HP, flat attack, and flat defense, okay? Any of these artifacts that have, like gloves, chest, or boots, that have a flat stat as the main stat are deeply, deeply questionable as to whether or not you should be holding onto these. Now, you can make some exceptions to the rule. If it's a very, very good artifact set, something like Feral, okay, which Feral's set bonuses award accuracy and speed, so quite high value set bonuses from your feral pieces, and it's quite a tough artifact set to get, you might want to hold onto pieces that roll into speed as one of their substats. For example, this chestplate right here, you know, yes, it's flat HP. That sucks, right? That blows a lot, but it's rolled into HP percent and defense percent as substats, as well as speed as a possible substat. If this thing double rolls into speed, we probably keep it, and we probably use it for a time just for progression. So I'm going to go ahead and just rank it up to 8, and we're just exploring. Oh my god. Okay. I didn't expect that. We're just exploring where these rolls go, and then we're making a decision based on where the rolls go as to whether or not we're actually going to keep this piece. And honestly, this piece is now good enough to keep. Again, it's flat HP, it blows, right? It's not good at all, but the substat rolls have saved this piece from expulsion from our collection. However, there are also other pieces here that we've got, like a flat attack main stat piece that's then got no speed substat rolls. It hasn't got any crit rate that it can roll into. You know, if it had speed and crit rate as a substat, we could think about throwing some levels into this and trying to hit on speed and crit rate, and maybe we can get this on a Nuka that also needs a bunch of accuracy from Feral set. But with these sets right here, it's not even worth trying to roll this piece up. It's just too far away from what we're looking for from a Feral set, right? The stats just don't match. Again, Feral, it's accuracy and speed, and your debuff specialist champions that are really going to benefit from a Feral set. Those stats just didn't make a lick of sense. You're also going to get boots like this, like, okay, anything for the Feral set that's not speed as main stat on the boots is probably in the bin straight away. You can make some exceptions to that rule again, but flat defense with substats that look like this is a lot of flat stats, man. And even if it rolls like quad rolls into attack percent, it's not worth keeping, okay? So this is how you want to cleanse through your artifacts and sort of sort out the wheat from the chaff a little bit. And this is just an easy way that you can cleanse a lot of artifacts at once without even really having to check on them. You can just kind of just execute them from your collection completely, because they just don't really make a lot of sense. So finally, this brings us to a step number 2, which is actually upgrading your artifacts and hunting for those good rolls. Okay, first and foremost, you only ever want to be doing this either during a clan versus clan event or during a gear enhancement event, which is not active right now. Generally speaking, a gear enhancement event is the only time you ever want to be upgrading your artifacts, though you can also do it during CVC, I guess, technically, and get some points during CVC for doing this. You want to make sure that you're getting some kind of event progress for upgrading your artifacts, basically. It sucks a little bit that there's not a gear enhancement going live right now, so I won't upgrade too many artifacts here while doing this. And remembering what we touched on just a little bit earlier on, you're looking for artifacts that roll into just very positive stats for that set. So again, like, there's a few headgear pieces here that don't have any speed as substat rolls that we can probably think about just executing from our collection, whereas a headgear piece like this is a prime candidate to try and roll up during gear enhancement. So you just roll up a little bit at a time, and you're just exploring where the rolls go. Single speed roll, this is probably already good enough to keep. If it's a double speed roll for where this account is right now, then we're absolutely happy as Larry. This is great. You might even want to take it up 12 now, because now we're confident that this is going to be a pretty decent piece. Rolls in a flat defense, that's fine, that's whatever. I won't take it up to 16 because it's no gear enhancement event active, and I don't want to waste a whole bunch of silver, but this is what you're going to be doing, man. Just sort of combing through your artifacts, like a piece of headgear like this can just go straight in the bin. It's got no speed on it, it's only rank 5. Just get it in the sea. Happy little shield like this, same deal. In fact, if the stats are looking pretty good, accuracy and speed, and you'd be happy with even just a single speed roll, rank it up to 8 straight away and save yourself a little bit of time. It goes into 1 each. That's fine, okay? Good enough to keep. Decent little support champion shield right there. So again, you're just looking for stats that make sense for that set. Now, if it's a bit more of a variable set like Feral, okay? Like, Feral gives a whole boatload of accuracy for just having a few pieces equipped. And so if you've got a Nuka or damage dealer or an HP burner champion, like a damage dealer that actually requires accuracy, I should just say, then what you can do with a set like Feral is take a piece like this, for example, right? Okay, it's got a couple of absolutely premium damage dealer stats right here with crit rate and crit damage, and then it's got HP percent and speed, which make a lot more sense for a support type champion. And so what you're doing when you roll up an artifact piece like this is you're looking to try and specialize that artifact piece, right? So as you investigate where these rolls go, you're either hoping for either a lot of speed or like a speed and HP percent rolls, in which case you can use this on a support champion, or you're hoping for like double crit rate, double crit damage. Then you can use it on a damage dealer that requires accuracy from the Feral set, you know. What you're really, really not hoping for is a split between all of the stats, because then you've got a gear piece that's not great for a nuker, but is fine, and is not great for a support champion, but is fine, and it's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. You know what I'm saying? So that's the logic here. It goes into HP percent first. So now we're looking for speed and HP rolls. Okay, we're already at a place right now where that's kind of the worst roll we could have hit. It goes into crit rate. Okay. Not great. So the stats are starting to spread a little bit now. It can still be saved with a bunch of crit rate, crit damage rolls, as far as I'm concerned. Take it up to 12, and it goes into speed. Ugh. Kind of worst case scenario. Again, it's a decent weapon still for like a support type champion. 1 speed, 1 HP, it's fine. The problem is now if we want to get another stat roll, we have to take it up to 16, which is a big gamble, because then if it double rolls into HP percent or goes into crit damage, God forbid, now we got a real jack of all trades, master of none, feral piece, right? You can make a similar kind of judgment call as well when it comes to relentless gear, right? 18% chance to get an extra turn from your relentless gear. Is it good on support? Is it good on damage dealer? Well, there are some HP burn and poison activator champions and stuff that actually quite like relentless gear, so it can do decent on some damage dealers. We've actually got a Whisper on this account as well that would love to have relentless gear equipped. She's a great damage dealer with this set, and so it can work on damage dealers, it can work on support champions. Once again, we've got a relentless weapon type here where it could go like crit rate and speed and be pretty good on a damage dealer, or it could go a bunch of speed and accuracy and be great on a support type champion. So once again, let's just take it up to 8. We're just exploring where the stat rolls go. It goes double speed, which is actually kind of exciting, man. That's pretty good, you know. So it's already excellent for a support type champ. Then it goes accuracy. This is now a support weapon. Forget about it. On our damage dealers, forget about it, right? We've missed all of the crit rate rolls. We got accuracy, speed, great for a support. And this is how you're going to look to refine and steadily upgrade and get like incremental upgrades over time in your artifact collection, right? Is upgrading your artifacts like this and really taking your time with them and making sure that if the stat rolls just go really bad, honestly, it just goes like relentless is not an easy set to get. So even if the rolls go bad, if it's even just got like any amount of speed on a relentless piece, you probably keep it at this stage on this account. But you know what I mean, right? You're trying to raise the tide of quality on your artifacts over time. Honestly, you know what? I can't help myself. I'm gonna go for this. I'm gonna 16 this, man. Oh! Yes, dude. Content creator look coming in big for Mr. D on his account, man, with a triple speed roll, accuracy, relentless weapon. Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about, man. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll up some pieces here and there, and just cleanse artifacts a little bit on the account, man. So, that's what I'm going to do for just like a half hour or something before I continue recording the rest of this video, because this is an account takeover video and I do want to make sure that I'm doing a good job of clearing out some artifacts where I can and just earning some silver back on the account. Not a bad little weapon here, by the way. Okay, so we cleared out about 100. Now I've just got done here preparing a rebuild for the Whisper, who was currently lacking a whole bunch of crit damage. Her speed was exceptionally slow. She was obviously missing a few pieces of gear as well. And so this is what the rebuild is going to look like on the Whisper. Now, next step, man, you've rolled up some artifacts, you've cleansed out the crap, you're keeping the good bits, blah, blah, blah. Well, now the next step is to take those potentially very good bits where the roll's bombed, like this ring right here, right? We've got a Knights Revenant ring here. It's a feral set ring. Generally, we talking about 6-star quality, but sometimes 5-star quality gear pieces as well, that are legendary or mythical quality where you have at least double rolled, if not triple or even quad rolled into an undesirable stat like this, right? So the main stat for rings, it's always going to be flat, whatever, forget about it. We had such high potential for this ring. Oh my god. And a triple rolled into the flat stat thrice, which is just bloody awful. Okay, and so this ring right here is a great candidate. Don't sell these pieces straight away. Again, if it's a legendary mythical quality piece and it triple rolls into something bad like this is a prime candidate to go ahead and rework with a Chaos Ore. Now, what do you want to be spending the Chaos Ores on? Well, generally sets that are not that easy to farm. It's a great idea, right? Things like Stone Skin pieces, maybe Forge Pass pieces like Slayer set, Merciless pieces that are just really tough to farm over time, take a long time to get, right, from Cursed City. And so, yeah, generally like Perception gear and stuff is a lot easier to get your hands on, and so you don't need to worry about using Chaos Ores on a Perception piece of gear because you can always just farm more in Faction Wars. It's not a big deal. Whereas a Feral Ring, A little bit tough to get your hands on good feral pieces, and so it's a good candidate to re-roll the stats on this, right? Let's go ahead and do it. Oh god, I'm real nervous. We've had good luck with the rolls so far until this ring where trip rolls into flat attack. Basically any triple roll percentage stat here is fantastic, so it's a bit of a 50-50. It's a good candidate though to use your Chaos Ores on. Oh, good stuff. Okay, HP percent is bloody lovely. And then a mix of attack percent, HP percent as substats. Not bad at all. Okay, this ring just went from like 0 to hero, man. This is great. You know what, man? Let's just go for the for the quad. Let's go for it, man. Oh my god! Dude, what the hell? Okay, my luck with rolling and re-rolling artifacts in this account has been absolutely insane. So there you go, Mr. D. It's not the best ring in the world to put on a Whisper, by the way, but I do need to try and sheer up the defensive stats a little bit on the Whisper. And this is going to help a lot, man. A quad roll into HP percent is bloody lovely. And because Whisper doesn't mind being built with only 70% crit rate, because Whisper self-buffs with 30% crit rate, we're fine to keep our crit rate around where it is as well. I'm going to roll some of these pieces up only because I'm going to be doing a Hydra focus video on this account as well pretty soon, and so I am going to need a relatively powerful Whisper here. So I don't like rank 16 in gear like this outside of a gear enhancement event, but I am going to do it, and sadly Whisper does need to be placing her own weakened debuffs in this team because just a limitation of the team. At least we roll into some speed here with the final roll on this accuracy banner. So there you go, man. This Whisper rebuild is just a bit of a prelude as to what is coming in a future account takeover video on this account. Okay. Oh, nice. Do we roll into crit damage as the final roll on the Slayer's shield as well? Oh, this is great. Let's go ahead and slam this gear on. Now, actually, before I rank 16 those pieces, another thing that you're going to want to be doing, and this becomes more and more important as your account matures over time, is that before you take a gear piece up to rank 16, you then want to go ahead and ascend that gear piece and see if you can just push it just that little bit further than any other gear that you've got on your account right now. So for crit damage gauntlets for Anuka, we're looking for crit damage as the pink stat as we ascend up our gear here. It rolls into crit rate, which isn't the worst thing in the world, okay? If we wanted to re-roll this stat, it costs you Chaos Dust. This is a pain to get, and so I don't really fancy our chances at a 1 in 8 pink stat reroll. Like, gloves can roll into a lot of different crap when it comes to the main stat on these gloves, and so I'm fine just to go ahead and leave this as crit rate for the time being. It's not the end of the world, you know. It's okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and ascend this up to 4 stars of Ascension. Then I'm going to leave it there. This is because even if you roll into a pink stat that you really, really like on a gear piece, you don't want to take it all the way up to max level of Ascension until there's a personal reward CVC, generally speaking. And the reason for that is, well, you want to win personal reward CVC, right? And you can see there's a CVC live right now, so every time I ascend a piece of gear, it's rolling up some free CVC points. It's like the only event in the game where you get points for ascending your gear, so don't be ascending your gear at least until 5 and 6 stars until a CVC starts, because you're going to get a whole boatload of just easy points by just being a little bit patient and waiting for a good juicy personal rewards edition CVC. Now, something else I'll also mention as well is that when it comes to using your Chaos Powders on accessories, a great spend for these is getting crit damage as a substat, as like a pink stat on your crit damage amulets, okay? It's such a good spend because, honestly, getting crit, like none of the other pink stats are that helpful to champions who want crit damage, right? You want your Nukas just as much crit damage as humanly possible, and there's only 4 stats that you can roll on an amulet. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to 5 on a banner, I believe. Resistance, accuracy, and all of the main stats. So like, your odds of hitting crit damage is like 1 in 4 every time that you use the reshuffle. So I'm going to go ahead and rework, attempt a couple of reworks here and see if we can bundle our way into crit damage on this amulet. Hopefully we can without too much more. I'm getting a bit reticent to spend any more dust at this point, and so I'm just going to leave it where it is for now. But generally speaking, your amulets are a great place to be using your Chaos Powders, your big 6-star crit damage amulets. A great spot to be using Chaos Powders. So just try and pink roll on crit damage if you can. We actually managed to pink roll on attack percent on the chest, which is bloody glorious, man. That's really, really good. Okay, that's really, really good. I mean, the substat rolls are not great, but it's a bit of crit damage. Yeah, this Slayer chest is pretty saucy. And step number 4, after you've ascended gear and after you've chaos ored any necessary gear, all that, blah, 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 blah. Step number 5 is going to be then applying glyphs to gear. And once again, you want to be applying your glyphs to gear pieces that are just a little bit tougher to get and where the stat rules are bloody great, okay? You want to make sure that you're getting good long-term value out of your glyphs. Once they're spent, and that's it at the end of the day, right? So a ring like this doesn't get much better than this. Like, the only thing this ring is lacking is like a defense percent roll instead of a flat attack roll or something, you know what I mean? So like it's basically as good as it's gonna get, kind of, as far as feral rings go for this specific faction. And so we shouldn't be scared of spending big expensive glyphs on a ring that's like this. However, do be aware that you need to save your 5 and 6 star glyphs to get through future, I think it's Marius missions on your account, and you're going to need a few hundred glyphs to get through those missions. To get through those particular glyph Marius missions, you need to max roll stats on 5 or 6 star glyphs, okay? So just make sure that you're saving all of your 5 and 6 star glyphs until you get to those Marius missions, would be my advice, because it takes you a lot to get through those. But by all means, go ahead and spend as many 4-star glyphs as you want as we get the lowest roll possible. Again, during CVC, just for the free tournament points during CVC, you might as well wait until CVC. Spend these 4-star glyphs, maybe some 3-star glyphs and stuff like that, boosting up the best gear on your account during CVC. But only commit these glyphs to, again, sort of your very best gear. You know what I'm saying, man? And alright, man, I think that's basically about it. Those are like the 5 steps to just getting ungodly. Did I say 4 steps at the start of the video? I think I did. Whatever, man. There's 5. There it is. Hope you all enjoyed this one, man. I'm going to go ahead and refine some builds on this account and then get back to you all with a supercharged Hydra team. You know what I'm saying? Thanks for stopping by. Hope you guys did enjoy. If you did learn something down below, go ahead and leave it down below in the comments. If you feel like I missed anything, drop it down below in the comments as well. Help each other out, all that good stuff. And of course, if you're looking to start up a new raid account, man, make sure to get that done right now by using the beginner promo link. It's down below this video at the top of the description box. And I'm going to catch all of you guys just a tad bit later, man.